So, what is really going on in your brain when you try to meditate? Well, whatever you think you know, I want you to put it aside for a few minutes. We're going to dig into the actual science behind this ancient practice, and it's probably not what you're expecting.
For a lot of us, the idea of meditation sounds like a huge struggle, right? It's this mental battle to try and silence all the noise in your head to find some peace. But what if that whole approach is just wrong? What if the real key isn't to fight your own mind, but to just let go?
See, what if meditation isn't some complex mental exercise at all? What if it's just a biological state, something our bodies are already hardwired to do? If you look at it this way, everything changes. It's not about wrestling your thoughts into submission. It's about letting your body do what it naturally does best: rest. Okay, so we basically live our lives in one of two states, right? You're either awake or you're asleep. Or at least that's what we usually think. But what if there's a third state of being? A kind of hidden potential that's in all of us, just waiting for us to find it? Normally, yeah, our minds and our bodies are totally in sync. They're a team. When your mind is on, your body's ready to go. When the body's asleep, the mind's asleep. But what happens when they get out of sync? Because that's when things start to get really, really interesting. I mean, think about strange things like sleep paralysis or sleepwalking. These aren't just weird glitches in the system. They're actually clues. They show us that it is totally possible for the mind to be awake while the body is asleep, or the other way around. And that idea right there, that's the key to understanding what meditation really is. And this is where it all clicks into place. See, meditation isn't about emptying your mind. It's about consciously guiding yourself into this other state, where your body is deeply asleep, but your mind is totally awake and aware. You're basically taking a journey from your normal waking life into this incredible new space of inner awareness. Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually get there? How do you tap into this third state on purpose without it being something scary, like sleep paralysis? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. And trust me, it has nothing to do with twisting your brain into a pretzel. Believe it or not, it all comes down to a really basic principle from physics. Our bodies aren't built to sense constant motion, just the change in motion. Acceleration. And that right there, that's the secret. If you can stay perfectly still, you can actually trick your brain. So here's the biological hack. You just stay physically still. That's it. When you do that, all the little sensors inside your body tell the brain, hey, zero movement out here. And the brain goes, got it, must be bedtime. So it just kicks off its normal sleep routine, relaxing your muscles and sending out those signals that keep you from moving around in your sleep. And just like that, you've done it. Your body is getting a deep rest. But you're still completely conscious and aware of it. All right, so you've pulled a fast one on your body. It thinks it's asleep, but your mind is wide awake, lights on. What does that actually feel like? It's a question philosophers have been kicking around for centuries, and now you can actually experience it for yourself. You've probably heard of the brain in a vat idea, right? It's this classic thought experiment about the nature of reality. But with meditation, it stops being a what-if scenario. It becomes a real, tangible experience. You literally become the brain in the vat, a pure consciousness, just observing, but disconnected from your physical body. So here's what's going on under the hood, neurologically speaking. The nerves that control your muscles and get all the sensory input from the world, you can think of those as your animal nerves. They start to power down. But the system that keeps your organs going, your heart beating, your lungs breathing, the plant nerves, that stays on. So your mind is just floating in this sea of pure awareness, totally untethered from the physical world. And all those weird sensations people talk about when they meditate? That feeling of floating, or seeing strange images, or hearing things? That's not magic or anything supernatural. It's just the normal, predictable static of your nervous system going offline. And now you're just conscious enough to actually witness the whole process. Okay, this is a really cool neurological trick, for sure. But what's in it for you? Well, this is where it gets really powerful. Once you learn how to consciously slip into this third state, you can basically hack your own emotions, seriously improve your sleep, and find a level of calm you might not have thought was possible. Think about anxiety. It's not just a thought, is it? It's a physical feeling. It's that tightness in your chest, the knot in your stomach, the tension in your shoulders. So by putting your body into a state of profound relaxation, you're not just trying to calm your mind, you're actually cutting the anxiety off at its physical source. And if you're still not convinced how much our physical state matters, get this. On the first day of daylight saving time, when we all lose just 1 hour of sleep, heart attacks spike by 24%. 24! That's how crucial physical rest is for us. And meditation? It is one of the most direct and powerful ways to give your body that deep rest it's craving. An easy way to think about it is like this. Your nervous system is a car. You've got the sympathetic system, that's your gas pedal, your fight or flight mode. And then you have the parasympathetic system, which is the brake, your rest and digest mode. In our modern, crazy world, most of us have our foot slammed on the gas pedal 24/7. Meditation is like learning how to consciously, manually hit the brake, giving your whole system a much-needed break to rest and heal. But it's not just about hacking our biology for better sleep or less stress. This simple physical process is actually the root of some of the most profound philosophical ideas in all of human history. We live in a world that is completely obsessed with doing. Go, go, go. But meditation is the practice of being. It's this incredible expression of an ancient Taoist ideal called Wu Wei, which basically means effortless action. It's the realization that sometimes the most powerful and productive thing you can possibly do is absolutely nothing. I mean, listen to this. Thousands of years ago, the philosopher Zhuangzi described this state he called sitting and forgetting. He wrote, "I have discarded my limbs and body, abandoned my form." I mean, wow. That is such a perfect, poetic description of that brain in a vat experience we talked about, the body going to sleep while the mind stays awake to watch. So you see, what we sometimes brush off as mystical or spiritual is actually grounded in a real, physical, and repeatable experience. The great wisdom of the East didn't just come from people sitting around thinking up abstract ideas. It came from the direct, personal exploration of these incredible hidden states of the human body. When you understand the science, you start to see meditation in a whole new light. It stops being about trying to achieve some far-off mystical state. Instead, it becomes a practical tool, a simple biological hack you can use to rest your body, calm your mind, and just feel better. So maybe the next time you feel completely overwhelmed, remember the power of stillness. What if the most productive thing you could possibly do is to simply do nothing at all?